Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tash.
And I'm scared. Oh, I'm Damo.
And together, we are so excited to bring you the Barry Chronicles.
On today's episode, we're talking VLCD, very low calorie diet.
So let's dive in. I wish we had a little splash noise. Okay. So we thought that we would discuss this topic because it is so relevant to all of us. Well, the very, very vast majority of us do end up being on VLCD for pre-op, and a lot of us it's recommended post-op during the recovery phase, and some of us even go on to continue having a VLCD product every day. So we thought that we would talk about the ones that we see as most commonly recommended, and
By the dietitians.
yeah, by dietitians, and we would try them out.
Yes.
So,
I mean, but before I dive in and start drinking these, because we've actually got 3 different brands and 2 flavors from each brand. We've got Formulite, Opti Slim, and Opti Fast. There's vanilla and chocolate in the Formulite, vanilla and chocolate in the Opti Slim, and there's coffee and mocha in the Opti Fast. When I did my pre-op diet many moons ago,
how many moons?
coming up to 9 years.
That's a lot of moons.
It is. A lot of mooning. And I am proud of myself that I've managed to maintain the majority of that weight loss. The VLCDs are fantastic in that you can open up a packet and you're getting everything you need for that meal,
Yeah.
and it's X amount of calories.
Yeah. Oh, look, I agree with you on the benefits of VLCD pre-op. My pre-op was probably one of the most horrendous times of my life, just because of the way that my body responded to the VLCD. But since then, as you said, life happens. I vowed and declared that I would never ever touch a VLCD product again after weight loss surgery, but I did. A couple of years passed. It was in the midst of the very first or second, maybe, COVID lockdown that we had here in Victoria. And if you know what it was like here, then you know, like, one of the most locked down kind of places in the world. And there wasn't a whole lot to do. So I found myself with a small regain. And I didn't let it go on too long before I realized, hey, clearly, I'm snacking. I was drinking a bit too much alcohol. So I needed to pull myself up and change a few things. Well, that was what I wanted to do. And so I did. And I went back to a VLCD product, and it worked really, really well for me. So I'm certainly coming from a place today with all of these lovely shakes sitting in front of us where I'm on board with having VLCDs, in the cupboard. I think it's a great thing to do if you need them. I'm certainly not prejudiced against them, but they can be a textural nightmare for me.
Yes. It's not like a Macca's frappe.
No.
No matter what anyone says. And we've made them up very simply today, just following the instructions on the packet. I know some people put them and do crushed ice, or there's so many variations, which are a fantastic way to help us get them down, especially if we do struggle with the texture of them or even the taste of them. They're still an essential part of that pre-op diet. And so for a lot of us, it might be 2 weeks, it might be a month. We just have to suck it up get them down,
the best way we
and
can.
yeah. And so
I'm looking at you, Damo, and you're looking at me, and we're both just sitting here like deer in the headlights kind of eyes staring at all of these cups.
yeah, and I'm like, what else can I say before I actually have to drink?
Yeah. What
You
else
know,
can we say about this? It's quite interesting just sitting here. We made them probably about 10 minutes ago now, so they've been sitting for a little bit. I find that VLCD improves with a few minutes if you just
oh, thank goodness.
let it sit. And I find that they're a bit easier to tolerate, just personally for me. If I've let them sit for a bit, we're sitting here laughing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
I'm going to start with the Opti Slim,
okay,
because we've got two lots of Opti.
yep.
There's Opti
So
Fast and Opti Slim. These were the only two brands that were around when I had surgery.
OptiFast is the one that my surgeon and dietitian recommended, and that was my only choice. I didn't have any other choices. That was what they wanted me to have. So
yes, because
I had
you
OptiFast.
needed gluten free.
Yeah.
So now Opti Slim actually have, and it comes in a pretty orange box, a gluten free range of shakes.
Mm, yeah.
So
Which is awesome.
we just wanted to make these up, taste them, and give our honest opinion. And we want to give you guys sort of some of our knowledge of what we've been through, and to let you know that if you're going through the pre-op stage or coming up to the pre-op stage, you're not alone.
Yeah, you're really not.
It may be very difficult. For some people, it is extremely difficult, but you're not alone. We've been there.
We've
The
done it.
majority of people that have weight loss surgery are supposed to have done it. And I think it does have an element of setting us up for success down the path, because honestly, for me, after weight loss surgery, it was far harder than the pre-op.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do agree with that. I think that if we can get on board, and when I did pre-op, I basically had lived my entire life up until that point as a food funeral. I loved my food. I enjoyed what I ate. I ate a lot of food. And when I did pre-op, I was determined that I wasn't going to cheat myself, because I thought, I need to be able to stick to this for 2 weeks. Otherwise, what the heck am I going to be like afterwards? Like,
Yeah.
how am I going to cope? So I did stick to it, but I found it very, very difficult. My body did not react well to having VLCD, and I was literally on the toilet multiple times a day.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, I took it as this is going to be my reminder of why I never want to go back to the way I was.
I never want to have to do this again.
I never want to have to do this again. And all right. So
Yep,
I'll
let's
stop
go.
talking. My first one is the vanilla Opti Slim Life, one sachet to 300 mils of chilled water. Blend or shake to dissolve. So
Here we go.
all right.
How you doing, Damo?
So it has an aftertaste.
Yep.
You get that. It's not sugar aftertaste.
Yep.
Uh, I think if you added maybe some coffee to it or something, it would make it a lot more palatable. That would be my go-to, or a couple of tablespoons of Milo and some.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm joking, guys. We can't do that. We've got to take it seriously, because having surgery is a serious thing. So look, it's not the worst one that I've ever tasted. it would be something that if I had to, and that's what I had available, then yeah,
Yeah.
I'd drink that.
Yeah.
Second one is the OptiSlim chocolate.
Okay. Your face. Oh my god.
Yeah, like that one's a lot harder for me to deal with. It actually makes me burp.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. It's strange. The the mouth feel like it in your mouth. It's not gritty or grainy. It's quite smooth. Um,
Is this one
it just
gluten free?
yes, it is.
Okay. All
It
right.
just
So I'm gonna try it as well. All right. So for me, like we said, it's been sitting for about 12 minutes now.
yep.
The grainy feel has gone, but I can taste. It's like whatever it is, maybe it's the thickener in it has started to
Yeah.
become a bit more gel-like.
Yeah.
So it definitely has a thicker sort of a texture. I hope that makes sense. I'm not detecting like an overly strong sort of aftertaste about it, but I can certainly
Yeah.
detect that feeling in my mouth.
For me, it doesn't really have a strong chocolate taste either.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I agree. I totally agree. And actually, if you are a member of Bariatric Support Australia on Facebook, Damo has posted a picture of these, and you can see a very marked difference in color.
Yes.
Which is really quite interesting. So we might even, I don't know if we have the ability to be able to post a photo of these onto this podcast, but so we can. So we'll do that as well. So you can see the difference in color. Yeah, so not the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth, and I've certainly put some dodgy things in there from time to time, but not my favorite either.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't try the vanilla, but how about, oh, wow, okay. How about I do that now? It's got a look to it in the glass.
It does.
Yeah, not the worst, not the worst aftertaste, but it's gone again, that thickener look
almost
in it.
To me, it almost looks like the when the water separates from yogurt.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. So it definitely.
Actually, I'm just sticking my finger in it and looking at. It's like a runny egg white.
Yeah,
that's the texture, which I think would be pretty off-putting to anyone who has any sort of sensory.
Yeah, any kind of sensory issue, that might be quite off-putting. So probably, if my takeaway from this would be that if you were going to have OptiSlim, I would probably make it up and drink it straight away.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that would probably avoid
and
that.
Definitely add some ice to it.
Yep.
Nice and cold.
Yeah.
And just drink it.
Yeah, drink it down. OptiSlim is also a little less expensive.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So if that's an issue, and let's face it, with economic times as they are, it is an issue, then OptiSlim might be the choice that you have. So if that's the choice that you have, then that would be our recommendation. Make it, drink it straight away, avoid that texture and consistency that can come from it sitting there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's something that I've learned in my journey, is that not every meal that I have needs to be some gourmet amazing thing. It's fuel to keep me going for the day. Yep. So once I dealt with that, I think I was a lot better in going, okay, well, this mightn't be my favorite, but it's going to get me through to my next meal.
Yeah, and honestly, pre-op really is about just that setting up of our internal organs, so that our liver shrinks, etc. So it's about making sure that we're following the program. And if your surgeon and your dietitian, if your team is fine with OptiSlim, then that would be my recommendation, is just drink them down quickly and get on with it. I mean, pre-op is a short amount of time, and this period of time in our lives is what sets us up for the future. So
yeah,
as you said, it doesn't have to be a gourmet meal. It's just a means to an end.
That's right.
But it does end.
It does end, and it's a small price to pay, really.
Yeah.
For what is a massive surgery and with amazing results, hopefully at the end of it.
Yeah, that's right.
So you know what, we just do it.
Yeah.
Next, I've got Formulite, which I've seen talked about a fair bit. So I've got.
I have tried Formulite before, so I'll let you take the floor on this one.
I've got vanilla
Damo.
here.
You obviously struggled with that one.
I really struggle with that.
Okay.
The flavour of it, for me, it's just not pleasant.
Okay.
Um,
yeah. Would you like me to do the chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll do the chocolate.
If you're all right too.
Yeah. Look, that's fine. Now, full disclosure, Damo put the vanilla into his mouth and then was unable to swallow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just couldn't get that one down. Okay, so I'm about to have the choc hazelnut flavour. So what I will say is that the mouthfeel and the texture is more palatable and easier for me after 15 minutes or so than what the OptiSlim was. I would also say that in the past, for me, if I drink Formulite quite quickly after I've made it, I find it gritty. So this particular shake, I believe, benefits from sitting for a little while.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
So some shakes do not benefit from sitting. OptiSlim does not benefit from, in my opinion, from sitting for a long time. I think it's one of those shakes that you should make and drink. Formulite for me, the texture is less gritty if you let it sit. It is not a sweet shake at all.
I'll give the chocolate one a go because I had tried that earlier.
Yeah.
And the mouthfeel was just not there. But I agree, like after sitting for a bit, I think I actually prefer the choc hazelnut from Formulite over the OptiSlim.
Okay. Yeah, well, look, I think that's a fair, I think it's a fair comment. And if you swirl it in the cup, it looks relatively normal. All of these have a thicker look after they've sat for a while.
Yeah.
That's something that I find is true across the board. The texture issues that I have had in the past with Formulite, I know for a fact that if I leave them in the glass for a bit, then I find that the texture's a lot better. So what I tend to do if I was having Formulite, I make it up and then I let it sit for 10 minutes. Then I shake it again in the shaker and then I drink it. They are a thicker sort of a shake. I personally find that they don't have, well, the chocolate anyway, it's not a sweet chocolate. If you like dark chocolate, if you like strong cocoa flavor, then you might like this one. But if you like sweet, then it's not. It's not. It just isn't.
I think for me personally, and you would have to check with your dietitian, but I would be more inclined than rather than buying a mixed box, I would probably buy some chocolate hazelnut of Formulite, maybe some vanilla of OptiSlim, and then mix the brands around.
Yeah, mix and match.
You would have to check with your dietitian about that. But for me, I think there's different ones, and it's great because most of them offer samples.
Yeah, and which is awesome. I mean, it might sound like we're not wanting to upset anybody with that type of a comment, but the honest truth for me is that I find different flavors are better or worse across the brands.
Yes.
So it's okay to like, for example, when I had OptiSlim, when I was on OptiFast, when I did my pre-op, I only had vanilla. Now, I love vanilla,
Yep.
and I actually really enjoy OptiFast vanilla shakes,
Yep.
but they had a really unfortunate side effect of just making me constantly be on the toilet. Now, I know for a fact that I absolutely love OptiSlim Mocha,
Yeah.
and I'm stoked that it's one of the flavors that we're having today because I know that I already like it. I know I do.
Yep.
I would be more inclined, though, to buy Formulite Choc Hazelnut
Yeah.
than OptiSlim chocolate.
Yes.
So trying all of the different flavors out, getting samples if you can, and working out the flavors that are good for you, I think is a really great tip. I mean, as I said, I don't hate vanilla at all, but I only had vanilla, so my pre-op was pretty boring,
Yep.
and I didn't really
Yep.
vary it at all.
And if you're having that twice, or for some people 3 times a day, that same thing 3 times a day it can get really hard to swallow it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so shall we move on to the
So
OptiFast?
OptiFast. So this one is the coffee flavor. Tastes just like I remember it.
Again, with these, I believe that they benefit from sitting for
Yeah.
a little bit of time.
The flavor seems to mellow
Yeah.
a bit.
If you've got the time to be able to just let it sit for 10 minutes, then I think that it just seems to improve.
Yeah.
I just had some of this one, and to be honest, yep, it's absolutely fine, and I could drink it. I already know that I have had because I do like the mocha in the OptiFast. I have already had a few mouthfuls of it, and my tummy has already gone, yeah, you've had some of that. So yeah, it still has that effect on me, and that is obviously just a me thing. It's just the way that it affects me, and that's okay because I don't particularly have this brand all the time. Just have a try of it, Damo. See what you think. Of all of them here,
I think
that's my
the
favorite
mocha
one.
is my favorite.
Yeah.
After it's sitting for a bit, the flavor's really mellowed. There's no there's no grittiness or
Yeah.
graininess. It's the right thickness. It's not like, oh, what am I drinking here?
Yeah, it doesn't. If we look at it, it doesn't have the texture, the goopy thing that can happen. It's got none of that going on.
Yeah, it's not as thick. Like we're swirling it around in the glass and swirling some of the other glasses, and it has the consistency that you would expect if you went and made yourself a mocha on milk.
Yeah.
At home. So
if you look across the glasses, so this again might be interesting, and we'll get Damo to take a photo. You can see here the ones that we have enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
Because
there's a lot less.
Yeah, so we've certainly drunk more of the mocha and more of the Formulite Choc Hazelnut than any of the others. So yeah, really and honestly, it is about trialing the different flavors.
Yeah.
And the reason that there's no strawberry in this mix is because I hate strawberry.
And so do I. I don't like it, and I'm not drinking things that I really, really, really don't like.
Yeah. So we love you, all of our strawberry drinking people, but I personally don't like strawberry, so therefore I can't really give you a good or an honest review of a strawberry product. Yeah. I know that Kim likes strawberry.
Yeah, Kim loves it.
So perhaps next time we could have Kim review some strawberry flavors. Yeah. And give her honest opinion of those, because there would be absolutely no point in me in me giving a review for strawberry when I just don't like it to
And
start
that's
with.
where getting the samples are worth it, because some people may love a vanilla formula and it's fine for them.
Yeah.
Other people don't. And that's obviously the case, or they wouldn't sell it.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's going to be different things that suit different people, and that's okay. We're all different, but we just wanted to give you our review on.
So this week on Deals for Tiny Tummies, we are going to be talking about Health Lab. So Health Lab is a little product that I stumbled across during this past week.
Oh my goodness.
They do these protein balls. Now, they have a whole range, but the one that I tried is Health Lab Caramel, White Caramel, Salted Caramel Filled Balls. Now, they're plant-based and they're gluten-free, which for me is important. I have celiac disease, and I also have quite severe reactive hypoglycemia, which you can get post-weight loss surgery. It's a complication. It's manageable, but for me, it's been a contributing factor in some of the restrictions that I have with products that I can eat. Now, this product is a little bit higher in carbs than what I would usually eat. So each ball has 15.6 grams of carbohydrates, and it's got 9 grams of fat and 2.1 grams of protein. So normally I would err on the side of having something that's a bit higher in protein, but oh my God, you need to put these in your mouth.
I was lucky enough to be here when they arrived.
And oh my gosh.
And my goodness. If you're going to put balls in your mouth.
Yeah. these are absolutely the ones. Like just amazing.
They taste like, this particular one tasted like a Bounty bar. Bounty?
Yeah.
The coconut and it just took me straight back to that happy place as a kid when I had a Bounty bar, because I loved them. And having one,
we could just share one.
Yeah, we shared one, and it was so good.
Yeah.
Would be even better with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, so totally recommend. Do yourself a favor, go and find them. So that was Health Lab Caramel, White Caramel, Salted Caramel Filled Balls. Yum.
Plant-based and gluten-free.
Now, we want the Barry Chronicles to be a place where we can discuss your stories. So if you would like to share about your journey, the good, the bad, the awesome, or the shitty.
Actually, on shitty, I've got a shitty.
Okay, well,
a quick shitty story. Kim and I were out the other day, and we went past this nice looking it was a food court and one of the stall things in there, and I thought, you know what, their spring rolls and that looked fantastic, tasted fantastic. I looked hilarious, squeezing my butt cheeks together, running to the toilet.
Oh no. Yes. Well, I think that most of us have at least one story like that. But look, we would love to hear yours. So if you want to be able to share them with us, and we would love for you to do that, then you can email us at contact, that's CONTACT, at barrychronicles.com. So that's BARRYCHRONICLES.com.
Awesome. On our next episode, we're going to be talking to a really good friend of ours and someone that we really care about. His name's Chen. He had his gastric bypass about 4 months ago and had huge difficulties, and it was actually a really scary time for his whole family, for everyone that cares about him. being that he did survive and we will be talking to him. But we're going to be talking to him and hearing about what happened, where he is now, how he's going, how he sees his future, and
Can't wait.
we actually found out that he's having some more treatments, so that's going to be great. But we're going to hear all about that, and we're really excited about that.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really excited to hear what's up next for Chen. So thank you for joining us today on the Barry Chronicles. We're proudly sponsored by... Anyway, if you would like to sponsor an episode, then please get in touch with us at Kaching... No, I'm kidding. No. Contact us again on the email address. And yeah, we would really love to hear from you. Thanks for listening and stay safe out there.
See you guys.